In 1968, I was lucky enough to get a Winston Churchill Fellowship to go to Patagonia to record the people, the landscape, the birds, the flowers, the animals, doing the whole record, really, of Patagonia. I have a feeling, in a way, I got the fellowship under false pretenses because I told the committee I was going to ride 450 miles across the desert from the Dyffryn Cymru on the east up into the Andes, and they thought this was really Churchillian stuff. And they gave me the fellowship. Of course, when I got down there, they all said I was quite mad to try and ride across the desert. And of course, they were very sensible, because had I done so, I wouldn't have been able to do much drawing. I had to content myself to drawings and watercolors and drawing in ink, because I couldn't take any oil because of the weight. I was traveling around quite a lot by air, even in the Andes on horseback, and I couldn't carry my paints with me. And so I drew and drew and drew, did masses and masses of drawings. I think I did 700 drawings altogether. When I got back, I had all these drawings, and it was, in a way, very satisfying to go through them all. Of course, I knew I had to work very hard out there, because I realized if I missed something, I sort of couldn't get on a bus and go back and do it. And so I just had to work very, very hard. This one is of Lias Carmanoins from Bryn Gwyn near Gaiman. I drew him in the open air, in the wind, at a place called Llercyl. It was very difficult drawing in the very high winds. Of course, there are very high winds out in Patagonia. And this one of Brachan Ifans, who was the sort of patriarch of Cwm up in the Andes, a great rider. And one time, a great climber, he'd climbed all the mountains above Cwm Gorsedd y Cwmwl and the lot. He was one of the first of the great pioneer climbers up in Cwm And I'm very lucky to have these drawings in the National Library so that I can always refer to them.
He has recorded with love and skill the faces of the Welsh people of Patagonia, and it is of the utmost importance for us today to safeguard this collection.
On the sides of the valley of the Dyffryn Cymru, on the cliffs, they're parrots' nests, and they come down screeching into the valley and they plunder all the farmers' fields. And the farmers out there are so gentle, they don't want to kill these parrots. I know they bring them in and look after them until they're well enough to go back and eat more of their corn. It's a very nice characteristic of the Welsh out there, their kindliness. Here's one of strange shapes in the desert, moulded by the terrifically high winds and the fact that the rock is so very soft, having come out of the sea. And the winds are very strong, and they're so strong, and the ground is so hard that no tree is ever blown down. The tree just cracks off about 6 feet off above the ground. The animal is that strange Patagonian hare, most extraordinary looking animal, more like a dog. And the daffodil, which they call the daffodil, it's nothing like our daffodil, but they had to have something really to relate to the daffodil. And it's very interesting when I was out there, people speaking Welsh and Spanish, I found I was making notes about the birds in Welsh. I was somehow beginning to think in Welsh, which is interesting.